I've got a panic button here. If you guys can see this. Let me see if you guys can hear the audio.
Panic.
Yeah. All right. So tell me this. What are you guys panicking about on this Bears team right now?
Right now, I mean, the biggest thing to panic about is playoffs, right? Like, it seems like there's zero shot that you're going to make the playoffs because everything else is, like Jim said, it's going to take time to start to figure this out. I think Ben Johnson had to figure out what kind of team he had. From week 1 to week 2, did we see an improvement in Caleb Williams? Yes. Did we see an improvement in Rome Odunze? Yes. Was it enough? Absolutely not. That means you have a much longer way to go. The biggest thing outside of that I'm panicked about is you spent a lot of money on the interior of this offensive line. And in 2 weeks, it looks like an offensive line right now that can't get out of its own way. I'm a little bit panicked about that. And lump in with that, Ryan Poles. Like, you had 2 second-round picks that are healthy scratches today. I don't know many teams that go out and win with 2 second-round pick healthy scratches. You had a third-round pick from last year that's a healthy scratch.
Chris's face screams panic right now.
What are we, like, there's a lot to... There's a lot when you look at that part of it where you're like, hey, the construction of this team may be a little bit more panicked than we thought it was.
I mean, I want to take that a step further. I mean, you talk about the 2 healthy scratches that were second-round picks, Shamar Turner being one of them. That was a guy that you drafted specifically, if you're the Bears, to help out the edge rushers, to help out the interior, a guy that you can plug in different parts of the defensive line. The thing, if I'm hitting the panic button, I'm hitting the panic button.
Oh, say less. Say less, guys. All right, sorry.
I knew you were coming with that one. But if I'm hitting the panic button, I'm hitting the panic button about a defensive line that has Dio Dengbo and Montez Sweat, guys that you're paying an exorbitant amount of money. We're talking tens of millions of dollars to get after the quarterback, to pressure guys like Jared Goff, Jordan Love, and J.J. McCarthy. And Dio looked pretty good in the first game. I thought that he looked pretty good, but that was against a replacement left tackle. Yeah. And you're talking about Montez Sweat, had 1 sack today that was wiped off the board because of a penalty. And then after that, it just didn't feel like he got close to the quarterback again. I know he impacted the run game a little bit, especially as the game went on. But, I mean, we're talking about these are 2 guys that I don't know the exact number of millions they're paying these guys. I think it's in the 40 million. That's way too much money for guys that don't give you enough return on investment. That's insane.
Jim, what are you panicking about?
Well, I was panicking earlier. I'm doing a watch party right now, and I panicked when the watch party, everybody was leaving in the third quarter. So that's what I was panicking about. But I was watching everybody leave. But I'm not going to hit the panic button. Here's why, Tina. Because this is going to start the march towards what they need to be. I do think they'll start to clean it up right now. When you get embarrassed like this, I can only speak from personal experience. Your name's on it, man. And that coach is going to call some guys out in that meeting room, especially some veterans as well. And I do think we know the new head coach that was brought in there, he's got a certain way he wants it to look. And it has looked anything but. At times it's looked good, like the opening drives of a game. And I'm more speaking on offense, but I know Dennis Allen will take advantage or take care of business on defense. But when it looks like that, you got to take it personally. And I do think they'll start to clean these things up as they're going to start to get called out one by one, and there will be a level of accountability. And I do think it will be better. Now, I'm not just going to say that leads to wins, but it'll start the step forward of this team to start to tighten things up, that they can't make the mistakes that they make in order for them to win games or even come close to be competitive in games. That's going to be a hard watch tomorrow for all those players. It really is.
Jim's talking about cleaning things up. I think you had some guys in the background there cleaning up from the watch party, Jim.
They are cleaning up.
Overall.
Everybody threw their stuff in the trash and left. They're already cleaning up the trash.
Jim Miller, our voice of reason. Okay, so I have a panic button, but I also have a hype button. I know it's just two games in. It's early on in the season. Tell me something you're hyping up about this team. Rome Odunze?
Yeah, Rome Odunze is the big hype right now. I mean, he looks like a legitimate, and did look like a legitimate number 1 wide receiver today. Even in some moments where Caleb Williams threw a pass where you kind of went, I guess, like 5-man coverage on him right there. Like, go see if he can make a play. He doesn't come down with that, but the trust that Caleb has to say, I know Rome's down there. I'm willing to make this throw to Rome. That is the comfort that you have with a number 1 wide receiver in your offense. And I think that's something that I am hype about, because Ryan Poles needs a hit in this draft. And there hasn't been many hits for him in the draft as of yet. I think Rome Odunze could be one that you could hang your hat on right now.
I mean, it's tough to find something to get hyped about, especially after that.
After a 52-point loss, it's tough.
That 50 burger tastes terrible, but I mean, we're talking about. I don't want to say Caleb Williams because like I said, I gave him an incomplete grade. I mean, we talk about a guy that looked better this week, hit a lot of those layups, and I don't want to say get hyped about a layup. But I mean, when you talk about the connection between him and Rome Odunze, that was kind of what we were promised when they drafted him last year, 9th overall. And that's a player that's making an immediate impact for this Bears team. That's a guy that just looks better. He looks the part. When I was talking to him last week before the game last week before week 1, actually, I was asking him what's been going on in the offseason. He's like, I'm working on these acrobatic catches. I'm at the jugs machine. I'm just doing a little bit of everything, twerk here, twerk there, just to see what works. And we're starting to see that pay off. We're starting to see a guy that is using his body in different ways, but also understands that this connection between him and Caleb is going to be the definition of how the future of this offense goes, especially under Ben Johnson. Rome Odunze is one of the, 4 guys that Ben Johnson trusts in that offense. Cole Kmet, OZ, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze. And I mean, that spoke volumes today. I think it was like 128 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. And that first drive, I mean, the move that he made to shake the safety and get into the end zone, we're talking about a guy that has a high reception point. That's not something that's rare. Right? That's rare to have with the moves, with the speed, with the body and the body control. I mean, it's easy to get hype about Rome. I mean, that's a great player. That's going to be a great player for the years to come.
All right, Jim, we're going to round this out with you. Give me something that you're hyped about. Give us something encouraging.
Well, I think they started the game great. Again, I thought the way they managed the script, they go right down the field and they score. It's just when bad things happen, they got to realize that they're not good enough right now to overcome them. And that's when they kind of need to have a little bit more mental toughness as a football team. Hey, I understand it's a new offense. There's a lot of new guys. They got to build some continuity. That will come. And that's when I think it will come by week 6. So it's easy right now to everybody's going to dump on them and look how bad they looked. And they did. They did. And they deserve every bit of it. There's no question they deserve it. But it will get better. In my experiences, this team, these guys, they're good enough to get a lot better where their point totals need to start to grow. Because I think we know their defense isn't there yet. This offense at some point has to carry the defense. And I said that at the beginning of the year, that it's the highest point total division in the NFL. And Caleb in this offense has to get it going. And I think by week 6, that'll start to march. So that's what I'm counting on. That's what my experiences tell me. And hopefully these guys take it to heart. But typically that's normally what happens. So I'm counting from week 6 on is when they start to catch fire offensively.